Well, good evening, everyone. First, I want to begin by thanking our legislative leaders for working with us over the past few months. As we've been celebrating the 250th birthday of our nation, I've been reminded that there's so much more that unites us than divides us. I also want to recognize all of the staff from our administration's negotiation teams to the staff in the legislature who put in really many late nights to get us to this moment. We appreciate your dedication and hard work on behalf of the good people here in Pennsylvania. And finally, I want to express my gratitude to my friend and my governing partner, our Governor Josh Shapiro, whose vision has driven us forward to this point. I'm proud to be in this fight with you every day, Gov. Look, this budget that the governor is preparing to sign represents a true bipartisan compromise. It's a strong budget that will continue to grow our economy, creating ladders of opportunity and making life a little bit more affordable for Pennsylvania's families and seniors. Earlier this year, I embarked on an affordability tour across our Commonwealth. I visited Fayette County, Carbon County, Adams County, Montgomery County, and Luzerne County. And we talked about how much money we've been putting back into Pennsylvanians' pockets through the expanded property tax rent rebate program, through the expanded child care tax credit, and through the new Working Pennsylvanians tax credit. I'm pleased that we've been able to continue those savings in this budget. And we're putting even more money back into people's pockets with this budget. We're expanding the recruitment and retention bonuses for child care workers. We're increasing funding for student teacher stipends, and we're giving a cost of living increase for some states' retirees who haven't seen it in over 25 years. That is what real relief looks like for seniors and families. And at the same time, we're making strategic investments to keep our kids and our communities safe. Under our administration, violent crime is down statewide because of our comprehensive approach to community safety. This budget continues that approach by funding another 4 cadet classes for the State Police Academy, creating a new program to help local police solve crimes and boost their clearance rates, nearly doubling state funding to rape crisis centers. They've been waiting a long time for that funding increase. And I'm thrilled that we could get it done in this budget. And we're continuing our investments in the Violence Intervention and Prevention Program, the Boost Initiative for after-school and summer programs for our kids, as well as school safety and mental health grants. As I said, we're making progress on public safety, but now's not the time to back down. Now is the time to keep doing what we know works. It's my pleasure to turn things over to our governor, my governing partner, our Governor Josh Shapiro. Governor.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us here today on this beautiful Sunday here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I want to begin by thanking my good friend, our history-making Lieutenant Governor, and a guy who knows how to get stuff done in our Commonwealth, Lieutenant Governor Davis. Thank you very much for your leadership. We're joined today by our legislative leaders. Let me give a special thanks and a shout out to an incredible leader, Speaker Joanna McClinton. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you. She is here with her teammates, her fellow leaders, Leader Matt Bradford, who always stayed at the table and made this happen. And Chairman Jordan Harris, who always understands that a budget isn't just a series of numbers on a spreadsheet. It's our statement of values and principles. They're here together with our leader in the Senate, Leader Jay Costa. Thank you for your leadership, Jay. And our Appropriations Chairman in the Senate, Chairman Vince Hughes. Thank you. And with all due respect to all of the leaders who are here, I want to say a special thanks to all of the members of the General Assembly who are here, who do the hard work every day in their districts and in the Capitol, and you are the reason why these bills have reached my desk. Thank you very, very much. To the members of my cabinet who join us here today, thank you for your great leadership every single day on behalf of the 13 million Pennsylvanians that we serve together. And while I'm blessed to work with an incredible team, and we are blessed to work with 80,000 people in this Commonwealth, there were three who led the way on this budget. And I want to say a special thank you to my outstanding Chief of Staff for more than a dozen years and a dear friend, Dana Fritz. She was here every night hanging out with two guys who did an amazing job for us. Our Legislative Affairs Secretary, TJ Yablonsky, who ran shuttle diplomacy back and forth and all over this Capitol. I'd call Dana, where's TJ? I don't know, but he's running around the building somewhere. And that shuttle diplomacy and the power you have to listen and to find that common ground, TJ, is really extraordinary. Thank you for your leadership. We appreciate you. And to our budget secretary, if you don't know what he looks like, he is wearing his budget day green suit and dollar bill tie, and he's hanging out in the back. Zach Reber did an extraordinary job making all of this work. Zach, thank you for your leadership. And every time I commend one of the three of them, they are the first to point out a special thanks goes to our legal and our policy and our budget teams and our front office staff who work beside them and behind them every day. I appreciate you all very, very much. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. So, in just a few moments, I'm going to sign this budget, the fourth bipartisan budget I will sign as your governor. And back in 2023, Madam Speaker, you'll recall when I took the oath of office, I laid out my principles and my priorities. I promised to hold dear the good people of Pennsylvania as my North Star in everything we do, to bring our GSD attitude to government, and to make it my driving purpose every single day to deliver for the good people of Pennsylvania. And this is the fourth year in a row where, despite working with one of the only divided legislatures in the entire country, where we have some real profound differences, we stayed at the table and we brought Democrats and Republicans together to get stuff done again. Now, I have to say that, and this is hard, Matt Bradford was right about something. He was. Hold on, I didn't say it yet, Matt. So 252 members voted on this budget, and 211 voted yes. Only 41 members voted no. Matt Bradford predicted that 2/3 of the House of Representatives would vote for this common sense bipartisan budget, and Matt Bradford, you were right. We managed, as the math indicates, to find compromise without compromising our core values. If you go back and look at the goals we all set together way back in 2023, funding our schools, making our communities safer, growing our economy. And 4 years later, this budget reflects those continued priorities. Because of our work together, Pennsylvania is on the rise. Thanks to the great leadership of Colonel Bivens, the men and women of the Pennsylvania State Police, and our law enforcement partners at every level, we have reduced crime across Pennsylvania by 16% and homicides are down 39% across our Commonwealth. We've put nearly 2,000 more police on the beat all across our Commonwealth. Graduation rates and test scores are up while truancy is down, and more young people are finding their passion in the trades through a program in their high school. We've spurred record economic growth. We've done more economic development in the last 2 years than the prior 15 years combined. We've got the only growing economy in the Northeast, and just the other day we jumped 4 more spots on CNBC's top states for business rankings. That's our highest ranking in 15 years. And get this, we've created with our private sector partners in Pennsylvania more jobs than all but 2 states in the entire country. That's something for us to be collectively proud of. And if you listen to Democrats and Republicans on the floor yesterday and today during the debate, they all talked about our incredibly strong fiscal position here in Pennsylvania. This past year, as Secretary Reber will point out, we conservatively estimated that our economy would grow at a rate of 2%. But thanks to the smart investments that we are collectively making, thanks to all the taxes we've cut, thanks to all the work we're doing to bring new companies here to the Commonwealth and grow our labor unions and others who do the work every day in Pennsylvania, our economy didn't grow at 2%. Our economy grew at 5.4% this last year. And that means $1.1 billion more to invest in schools and cops and parks and roads and a whole lot more things that we all rely on. And this budget and those revenues allowed us to make important investments and still have an $8 billion budget surplus at the end of this fiscal year. This is the 4th budget in a row where we cut taxes and never raise them. There is a lot in this budget that we can all be proud of. We're investing this year $11.8 billion in public education. That includes a $678 million increase this year and over $3 billion more since the day I took office. And we fixed the funding formula on how we drive those dollars out, so now the school districts that need the most help get the most help thanks to our collective work. Today, as a result of our work, we've grown special education funding together by 15%. And with this budget, we're investing $193 million in workforce development and CTE, a 60% increase from where we were just 4 years ago. But to me, a quality education doesn't just require dollars and cents, it also requires common sense. Common sense says that kids need more time to play and to socialize and to interact with one another. That's why I'm incredibly thankful to the legislature who came together on a bipartisan basis and passed, as part of this budget package, something I called for in my budget address, and that is a mandatory recess for K to 5th grade all throughout Pennsylvania. 30 minutes for our kids to play and spend time together. And it's not just K to 12 where we're making significant investments. We're investing more in higher education as well through our new performance-based funding formula that we all worked on together and developed on a bipartisan basis. Special thanks to Minority Leader Topper for his work in this area for many years. That's something that leaders in Harrisburg have talked about for years and years and years. But we came together and we got it done. We're also covering $78 million of debt for PASHE, which enables them to shift those dollars into more funding for our faculty, more funding for our students, more funding for our academic programs. And we're making strategic investments in higher ed to address critical workforce shortages by increasing the amount of funding for GROW PA scholarships for students who are pursuing high-demand careers. Last week, I had the privilege of being in Altoona, Pennsylvania to visit Big Boy. And if you've not seen Big Boy rolling through our communities, it's a train, Bradford. Big Boy is a train rolling through our communities. It was unbelievable. And as I was walking the line there and folks were talking to me and what have you, a young woman came over to me to tell me she was one of the first recipients in the state of a Grow PA scholarship. She is using that to become a healthcare provider in rural Pennsylvania. The system is working. But it's not just healthcare providers. This budget increases our commitment as well to student teachers and invests another $30 million. We increased from $30 million to $40 million in investment in these student teachers, which is going to allow us to help fund 3,000 more aspiring teachers across Pennsylvania. For the first time in more than a decade, the number of teachers is growing in our Commonwealth, not declining. That's something we should all celebrate. Workforce is critical. That's why we're investing $5 million more in recruitment and retention bonuses for child care workers. The Lieutenant Governor and our Second Lady have done incredibly important work in this area. We are working now to be able to raise those minimum payments by nearly $100 each for these providers. In addition, we have new funding for an initiative we created last year to train more nurses and provide more tuition assistance for nursing students in Pennsylvania, setting up them with a hospital placement when they graduate. And listen, this was an important priority for our good friend, Representative Bridget Kozarowski. And so I want to say a special thank you to Bridget and know that we are all praying for a full and speedy recovery. We miss you, Bridget. We're not just paving the way to get into the careers that they love for Pennsylvanians. We're also about to pave a whole bunch of roads and bridges across Pennsylvania because as a result of their affirmative votes, we're going to invest a whole lot more in that space. Understand that over the last 3 years, we've paved 20,500 miles of roads and repaired nearly 1,900 state and local bridges. That's more than we had done in decades. This budget builds on that success and drives out an additional $775 million from the Motor License Fund to fund shovel-ready projects to rapidly repair our roads all across this Commonwealth, not in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, but we're going to do this work over the next 18 months. Secretary Carroll is ready. Working together, we launched an important new initiative to create an innovation fund to build on our momentum in industries like the life sciences by supporting our startups and helping them grow right here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I want to say a special thanks to Chairman Briggs and Chairman Hughes and Senator Sanacero for their advocacy in this space. This budget, for the first time ever, makes available $125 million to be able to provide capital for life sciences startups, fund clinical trials, and develop a workforce and education pipeline to help these companies succeed right here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I believe this budget is more than just a whole bunch of numbers on a spreadsheet. It also delivers common sense solutions to real problems that Pennsylvanians have faced for years and years and years, starting with our fruit growers. Our fruit growers right now are particularly struggling to meet their bottom lines after one of the worst freezes in the history of our Commonwealth, which devastated their crops when they were just starting to bloom back in April. Secretary Redding and I have spent a great deal of time on our farms with our ag leaders here in the General Assembly. I want to thank Senator Vogel and Schwank and Representative Mal and Pashinsky for their bipartisan work in this space. We all heard firsthand from these growers who expect to lose about 100% of their fruit crops for the entire season. They don't know how they're going to feed their own families. And yet, we all found a way to come together to help them in their time of need. This budget delivers a $10 million lifeline to these farmers, and I'm grateful to each and every one of you for stepping up the way you did. This budget also solves a problem folks have talked about for years by enabling Secretary Arkush, who joins us today, and the Department of Human Services to acquire and roll out chip-enabled SNAP benefit cards, a policy that Representative This is a policy I know Representative Dan Williams has been pushing hard for many years, and it's an important protection against fraud, and after years of talking about it, we came together to get it done. Here's another problem we're solving: delivering more support for Pennsylvanians struggling with their mental health. Last year, 988 handled more than 145,000 calls from Pennsylvanians who were just crying out for help. This budget provides dedicated state funding for 988 to ensure that when Pennsylvanians pick up the phones to answer, they can get the help that they need from a trained professional who is waiting to answer. The budget also supports our walk-in crisis centers, the places that handle some of our most difficult cases. All of this builds on the investments that we've made in county mental health services, recognizing that they are the ones on the front lines of so much of this important work. I want to say a special thanks to Representative Mike Schlossberg for being our collective conscience on this issue and driving this forward. Thank you, Mike. Earlier this year, I visited with the staff of a rape crisis center in Pittsburgh. I heard them, as I know many of you did, speak about how hard it is to provide essential services to support victims of rape and sexual assault in a really tight budget. And I'm proud to say that we came together to deliver a much-needed $12 million increase for rape crisis centers all across this Commonwealth. And when I called the leaders in Pittsburgh this morning, I thanked them for the education they gave me and so many others, and the work they did not just to help the Pittsburgh Center, but these important centers all across our Commonwealth. Thank you all for your vote to get that done. This budget does a lot to strengthen our child welfare system by driving out an additional $50 million to ensure counties have the resources to hold abusers accountable and to keep our kids safe. While at the same time, it invests more in Childline to provide real help to families who are trying their best. And just like it invests in helping our kids, it invests in protecting our seniors. With increased funding for the Department of Aging's monitoring system, CAPE, which holds the AAAs accountable, as well as increased funding to implement Secretary Kivulich's Aging Our Way strategic plan. On top of that, we are providing more support and stability to nursing homes across our Commonwealth by increasing minimum reimbursement rates, and that investment comes with stricter requirements that they drive more dollars to the bedside for patient care and better pay for the workers who are doing this important work. And I know that was a big priority for Secretary Arkush. Thank you for your leadership in that space. Folks have been talking for years about investing more in helping our parents and grandparents. This group came together to finally get it done. And at a time where we're taking care of our kids and our seniors, in this budget, we're also taking care of public servants, people who have done so much for this Commonwealth, our retired cops and teachers and firefighters and state workers who served our fellow Pennsylvanians. This is the year when we finally came together to give them a cost of living adjustment for the first time in over 2 decades. This is real. This is real money back in people's pockets. Let me give you just one example. George McGarrow was a firefighter in Bethlehem at Local 735 for 31 years. Then he retired back in 2000. This guy literally ran into burning buildings to keep his fellow Pennsylvanians safe. But since 2002, that's 24 years, he's been stuck on a fixed income because his pension has not gone up even once. Because of all of our work together, George and retirees like him will see an additional $300 a month. That's $3,600 a year back in George's pocket. I gotta tell you, this is a problem I heard about when I was knocking on doors, running for state rep in 2004 back in Abington. So now, Ben Sanchez can go knock on doors and tell them we got it done. We've come together to solve these big problems, and we've come together to put money back in people's pockets. We came together early on to deliver the largest tax cut for seniors in 2 decades, to then triple the child care and dependent care tax credit, to continually lowering our business taxes, especially for our small businesses across Pennsylvania, 4 straight years, and once again, to delivering the working Pennsylvanians tax credit, a priority of our speaker, which benefits 940,000 of our fellow Pennsylvanians. Other states may be raising taxes. We're cutting them, and we're putting money back in people's pockets. And we're doing so by being focused on solving problems. And one of the big problems we're focused on is how to put money back in people's pockets and help them get along in these challenging times. Look, to be sure, many good things in this budget are going to help the good people of Pennsylvania. And as I said at the beginning, I knew there would have to be compromises in a divided government. But because we kept at it, because we held out for the best possible compromise, there's a lot of bad things that would have hurt Pennsylvanians that we together kept off the table. I was absolutely adamant that there would be no cuts to Medicaid services, and there are none in this budget. We insisted that every single dollar of adequacy funding for our students and our schools be in this budget, and every single dollar is there, Chairman Harris. And despite forces that wanted to undercut the progress that we made over the last few years, we stayed at the table to ensure that the foundation we built only got stronger. Now look, there's a lot of work that is ahead, and there's a whole lot more that I want to do, that I'm going to do, like raising the minimum wage, like funding mass transit, and like expanding access to affordable housing across Pennsylvania. There's a lot more work to do. But once again, we've proven that here in Pennsylvania, we can bring people together to solve problems, to get stuff done, and to build on this foundation that we've laid. And now, we've got to keep moving forward, because what we're doing is clearly working. We got more cops and less crime. We got more teachers and less hunger for our students when they come to school. We got more Pennsylvanians on the job and a whole lot less red tape to hold them back. I promise to swing open wide the doors of opportunity for every Pennsylvanian who chooses to step through them. And I'm proud of the work that we've been able to do together to make that reality. So I want to thank each and every member who is here. I want to thank our leaders for their important work to help continue the progress here in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is on the rise, and I'm about to sign this budget to continue our progress forward. Thank you. All right. Liz, this is our school code bill. That goes to you. Right. There you go. Chairman Harris, thanks for making that money. go. Where's Senator Hughes? Right over there. There he is. Great job. Great job. I got 2 pens left, and they don't know I'm doing this. But I want to invite up Secretary Yablonsky, and I want to invite up Secretary Reber to come right up here. They're hating every moment of this, which is bringing me joy. Thank you. The lawyers will take these, we'll go answer a few questions, and then everybody will be about their weekend here. Oh, do you want to?
Once the still photogs sit down, can you stand up there, please? I want cameras to be able to get you guys as well. Five more seconds, please.
All right. All right. We're going to take just a few questions. Rosie?
Governor, can you address skill games, especially as a former Attorney General? The Supreme Court gave 120 days for there to be something. Are you concerned that since it wasn't dealt with here, that in 120 days they could be seized? The district attorneys could decide to crack down on them?
I mean, look, the legislature ultimately made a decision that it was not going to be part of this budget. The deadline for action is October 13th. My door is open if lawmakers, particularly on their side of the building, want to continue to discuss this. But if not, the Pennsylvania State Police is ready to enforce the law when that deadline hits on October 13th.
So starting on July 25th, judges will be sentencing new second-degree murder convictions with no statutory minimum on the books. Are you comfortable with that? And whose responsibility is it to fix it?
Well, first, I think the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court made the right decision. I believe that our second-degree murder law was unconstitutional. I'm glad they ruled the way that they did. And they gave the legislature some time to work on this issue. The Senate passed something. The House has made clear what their priorities are. I've spent a considerable amount of time, particularly in the last 48 hours, trying to see if we could bridge the divide. We're going to continue to work on this issue. And I'm confident, given some of the maneuvering that the majority leader in the House did today, there's a vehicle ready to go when we have a compromise in place. I'd like to see the legislature act on this and not just leave it up to every individual county to act. I'd like to find some consensus, and I'm hopeful that we can get there.
By July 24th?
I'm hopeful we can get there.
Governor, members behind you pushed for COLA for a while now. Why did this happen now?
You know, this majority has 102 members in it. If you don't know the math, you need... If you don't know the math, you need 102 votes. They've got no room for error here. Yet every single time, they put up 102 votes to do important things like funding our schools and focusing on public safety and economic development. And they made crystal clear that they wanted to stand up and put more money back in the pockets of workers who had given our Commonwealth so much. So they stood firm. They said, we got our 102 to get this done. It stayed as an important issue at the table, and today I just signed it into law. I'm grateful to them for their leadership. Good. Thanks, everybody. Yes. How you doing?